This week we're going to focus on back bend. Now, in back bend we want to try not to overstretch the lumbar spine, this area here. Moves very easily and tends to overwork. So what we want to get is some movement in thoracic spine between here and here. It's quite a strong, stiffish part of the spine because it needs strength to protect the heart and the lungs' vital organs. But we want to try and get some movement in there. And if we do this correctly, our back bend will be comfortable. One of the main things with back bend is don't force it. Because if you force it and try to get too far, you will overstrain either this area, lumbar spine, or this area. If you don't protect that, that could also be a problem. So we need to take it, I'm going to turn sideways so you can see the way my spine moves. My feet are hip width apart and parallel. What I want you to think about, let's place the hands on the back of the pelvis. Now I want you to lift the rib cage. That is always the first move in back bend. Now roll back the shoulders so you'll feel that that thoracic spine is moving. Now just slightly lift your vision and push the pelvis forward. Still thinking of lifting the rib cage, let the shoulders roll back and let the back bend ease in naturally. Only releasing the head when the shoulders and the rib cage gone to their full stretch. Then if you release the neck, the cervical spine has support and it will not go too far. And coming back, straighten the legs, ease back the hips, still rib cage lifting upwards as you slowly unroll the chest, shoulders, head. Now let's try that with the arms to add a little extra weight so we can use the force of gravity to deepen our back bend to its natural level. We're stretching up, we're lifting the rib cage, slight softening of the knees. Legs are important, they need to be strong for back bend. Lift the rib cage up, let the shoulders release back, and just let the bend take its course. Arms are soft, neck naturally eases itself into the act. Coming up, straighten the legs. Tighten the abdominal muscles. Lifting the rib cage up and rolling the shoulders back. Let's go into the natural counter posture. Relaxing forward. Widen the feet if you're more comfortable that way. Let the head release, releasing the neck. And just breathe easy. I think probably back bend is one of the movements that is forced most often in yoga postures. Feeling refreshed now, so I'm going to bend the knees and I'm going to unroll out of that. Let's just take a nice easy stretch up to align and release. So let's into a more familiar pose. I'm going to go for the warrior one. Big step forward. Just going to go into it in easy stages so we can focus on the back bend. Have the feet hip width apart even though they're separated. We're stretching up, we're just using one arm first. So just lift right arm up, opposite arm to the forward leg. Stretch up, lift the rib cage. Let the shoulders relax back and look up at the ceiling. So it's not a deep back bend, but it's a very natural back bend. And hopefully it feels comfortable because no particular area is taking the strain. Stretch up and release down. Let's take that a little nearer to what we recognise as our warrior posture. Same arm again. Lift up. Bend front knee. Nice strong legs, great support for back bend. Stretch up, lift the rib cage. Let the shoulder release back so the chest is still lifting as you ease into your back bend. Stretch up, release down. A little bit wider because we're going to take this to its full extent. Warrior one. Lifting both arms now. Same movement, bend front leg. If you feel confident, lift the back heel. Swivel the foot around so the toes point forward and you can push against that back heel. So your base, nice and strong, steady. Stretching up, rib cage lifting, shoulders releasing back so the arms go with the shoulders. Might want to sink down a little more. Taking a little of that back bend into the sacral spine. Stretch up, reach up, straighten the knee and release. Turn to the side, natural, easy counter posture. Let the head and the neck release. Let the shoulders soften. Give them a little wriggle through. Take a couple of easy breaths. Heel toe the feet in once or twice, bend the knees, uncurl out of that. So you're using your core. Nice full stretch up to align. And release. Let's do that on the other side. So this time we have right foot forward, doing it with straight legs first. Stretching up, one arm. Stretching up, releasing back. Stretch up and let it go. Again, this time with the bent knee, stretch up, bend the knee, relax back. Focus on the breath, or warrior postures kind of make you want to do your Ujjayi breath for strength and courage. Stretch up, ease back. Now both arms, heel toe the foot once forward so we can lift back heel. Swivel the toes to face forward. Only do that if you feel steady. Both arms lifting. Lift the rib cage up. Slowly release down. Another one. Stretch up in breath. Now we're easing the back bend a little deeper. Stretch up and release down. Turn to the side, relax down. You'll toe the feet in once or twice so you can just ease out and hang from the top of the legs. Just letting the spine rest. Bend the knees and roll. Come to the end of your mat. We're going to bring in the dog stretch, up dog and down dog, because that is a natural warm-up for back bending. Goes from forward bend to backward bend, both of which go to the level that they want to go, not necessarily where you have an aim to get that bend. So we're going to walk the hands forward, slide them, feet fairly close together and parallel. As you breathe out, head relaxing, nice stretch for the shoulders this, ease back towards the heels. And then flatten out. Just the hands if you need to. Let the hips sink through. Same movement. Rib cage lifts. Shoulders ease back. Head then can lift up. Back into the down dog. Nice gentle back bend. Again. Up. One more. Feel the back bend starting from the base, working its way up till finally rib cage lifts and then the neck is allowed to join in. Release the knees. Sit back on the heels. Head down. Arms soft. Palms up or down, whatever's comfortable for you. Take a few easy breaths. Slowly unroll when you feel ready. So back bend, it's a very good posture to feel comfortable with because it uplifts the spirits. People who, you've only got to look at people walking around in the street. If your shoulders are drooping forward and your head is down, you're usually quite a negative person. You ease the shoulders back, lift up the rib cage, the heart centre. You feel positive and happy, joyous of life. And that's what we get from back bend. So we're going to do a kneeling version of the warrior now. Same principles, that lift of the heart centre. We're breathing in. Lifting, I've got right leg forward, so I'm lifting left leg up. Ease the tail down, lift the rib cage up, and then just let the bend ease to the level that suits you, that feels good. We do not force it, remember that. up, ease back. Straighten the leg and do that again, this time with both hands. You might want a little padding under that back knee if your knees are a bit sensitive. Off we go again. So we stretch forward, ease the tail down. So it's ready to take the full length of the spine, easing into back bend. Stretch up and lower. Ease the foot around. Just sit back on the heels, slowly unroll. And let's bring the other foot forward. So this time we've got left foot forward. Just past the vertical line. So you've got room to sink down and carry the back bend. Off we go. Stretching up. As the arm comes up, so does the rib cage. As you breathe out, ease down. Your natural level. You're looking upward towards maybe the cornice rather than the ceiling right above you. Stretch up in breath and just ease your way as far back as your spine wants to go. Stretch up, ease back towards the back leg, release. Now with both hands, stretching up, release down. Feel that stretch up of the rib cage. Feel the shoulders releasing back. Try and relax into your base. So good stretch on the legs, but hopefully now they're quite happy to take that stretch. Stretch up, in breath. Relax out breath. So all the back bending is done as you relax into it. Stretch up. Ease your way towards back knee. Release down. Take the foot around. Let the head relax. Tail tucking under. Cat posture. In breath. Unroll the head and the seat. Out breath. Navel up towards the spine, tail tucking under, head relaxing forward. Couple more of those. When you feel your spine is feeling recovered, sit back on the heels and unroll your way out of that. Nice and easy. Take an easy stretch up. Think about alignment, the spine now in a perfect straight line. One vertebrae on top of the other. And release. So I want to come now to the camel posture, classic back bend. So we're going to come up onto knees. Again, pad out your knees if you feel they're a little sensitive and they're not liking being kneeled on. And then just take the knees about hip width apart, 2 fist widths apart. Just for comfort. Feet are relaxed at the moment. We're going to take the hands and just rest them over those bones of the pelvis. And let's try out that technique that we've been doing all the way through. So we breathe in, we're lifting the rib cage. As we breathe out, we're rolling back the shoulders. So in this case, you can squeeze the elbows together. Ease the head up so the spine is nicely back-bended when we finally lift the head to whatever level it's happy to go. That lifting up of the chest helps to support the neck so you don't stretch too far. Now, if you feel you can, ease the hips forward. So we take that back bend down to the sacral spine, back of the pelvis. Another area doesn't move a lot, but just a slight back bend. And then just breathe it. Try and relax and let go. When you come back, it's the hips that come back first. Chest is still lifted. Shoulders are still back. Bring the waist back. Now, slowly release the shoulders. Unroll the head. Come down. Head release. Tail tucking under. Okay, and roll out of that. Let's take that a step further. Toes tucking under. So the heels are going to be closer to you. We're taking right arm up. Stretch it up, lift the rib cage, feel that thoracic spine area. Just easing a bend into it. This left hand is going to reach back, looking for left heel. Stretch up in breath. Ease back out breath. Again, natural level. Feel the lungs filling and emptying. Beautiful stretch to the spine, but comfortable. Stretch up in breath. Ease back. Release forward to the curled cat position, head down. Small of the back pushing up. Ease back. Seat to heels and roll. So let's try that on the other side. So this time I've got right hand touching my right heel. I'm lifting left arm up. Reach up, lift that rib cage, let the shoulder ease back and just relax into it. Stretch up, taking the weight off the spine with that stretch up. Release the hand on the foot and relax down. Down, feet released, hands resting in your lap. Head relaxed forward. So we're going to try both hands together this time in the classic camel posture, Astrasana. We'll keep the knees hip width apart for this first attempt, and we'll tuck the toes under so the heels are a bit closer for us to reach. Going to stretch up. Feel the rib as the hands reach up. So the rib cage lifts. You're looking up towards the ceiling, some feet in front of you. Now ease the shoulders back. Ease the hips and the thighs slightly forward. And then release the arms. See if you could just touch the hands on the heels. So now you've sealed the posture. The neck is comfortable. The shoulders are drawn back. Chest is wide open. Stimulating heart and lungs. Release one hand and then the other. Ease chest back. Sit back on the heels. Relax forward. Knees about hip width apart. Take the arms alongside the legs. Just relax there for a few breaths, allowing your spine to recover. You feel recovered. Edge the knees a little closer together. Slowly unroll. Take a stretch up. Aligning. Releasing. I have one more way to show you to go into the camel posture. I actually prefer this way. It's an up thrust of energy rather than a downward thrust of energy. So I find it easier and more comfortable. I think you need to have a certain amount of flexibility in your spine to be able to do it. But even if you can't do it now, keep trying it, because at some time your spine will become more flexible and you will be able to do it, and you may find that you like it a lot better than the previous way of going into camel. So we're going to tuck the toes under. When you progress and you feel quite comfortable in camel, you can keep the feet flat on the tops of the feet on the floor and just hold around the heels. But by tucking the toes under, they are a little bit closer to you and the back bend is not quite so deep. We'll have the knees a little wider apart just to check that you keep your balance and we make sure that everybody is safe. But that also can be adjusted as you become more familiar with this posture. The knees can come closer together as you become more proficient. So this time we're going to hold round the feet first and we're going to roll through. So we're pushing the pelvis forward. Now lift the rib cage up and let the head relax down. Coming back, same way you went into it. See, coming down, looking straight ahead of you, roll back down. Once more, sit back on the heels, let the head release forward. Stretch the arms forward or back alongside the feet, whichever you feel most comfortable with. Remember, when you come back, either use the hands to walk back or draw the knees together and slowly unroll, protecting your spine. Nice forward stretch up and release down. There are many other back bends, but I think that is enough for today. So we're going to just ease the feet around. We're going to lay the spine flat on the floor. Lengthen the spine a little, touching down. Place the feet hip width apart, parallel. Little space under the back of the knees, so not too close with the feet to the seat. Palms turned up. Little rock of the head. Just easing those muscles that do so much work in your neck, cervical spine. And just take a few easy breaths. You could do your Hasta Mudras, maybe work through the fingers, a couple of breaths to each finger. Just balancing your energies. Air. Ether, middle finger. Earth, ring finger. And water, little finger. The elements that make up everything in the universe, including you. Just relax the hands. Clear the mind, look for the space right there in front of your closed eyes. Try and keep that space empty. Or if you find that difficult, choose an image of your own. Maybe a starry sky or the space between the stars or a clear blue sky. Let that image either stay or keep returning to it. So you try to train your mind that you're in charge of it, not it in charge of you. If you feel like staying for quite some time, then of course do so. But I can't do that on this video, so I'm going to come up and just feel how my body feels. Already I can feel there is an energy to it. There is a synchrony to it. And my posture feels better. One thing that Backbend will do for you, it will improve your posture. And good posture is far less tiring for the body. So try and include your Backbend. We have one in the 3 minutes, but any practice that you choose to do, try and include a Backbend because it will work in as far as keeping your attitude positive, your spirit joyful, and your body strong. Thank you, everybody. Om Shanti.